So how do we feel about renting a room in somebody else's house? Because I knew this was a thing, but I didn't know this was a big thing in my city. I'm talking big thing. You can literally go pay $700, $800 a month to go live in a room in somebody else's house. And I know sometimes it's out of necessity, but I just couldn't do it. I'd rather go live in the hood somewhere in a studio apartment for like $500 a month. I first found this out by one of my homeboys a few years ago when he told me he was living in a shared space and he's paying about $750 a month. I was like, okay, that don't sound super bad. It's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. He's sharing a bathroom with 2 other guys, and it's like, I don't know about sharing a bathroom with somebody I don't know. I remember specifically him being mad one day and him showing me a picture of his bathtub. Somebody left a hairball in it. I couldn't deal with somebody else's hairball, dog. I don't know. And there's some other factors, like on a lot of these shared spaces, you can't bring anybody else over. You got to share the living space with everybody else, and you got to share the kitchen with everybody else. I remember my homeboy was telling me everybody was eating out every day. That is not healthy. Nobody would take out the trash. Nobody cleaning up anything. I just couldn't deal with it. I'd rather just live in a little rinky-dink little studio by myself. But you are saving money most of the time, and sometimes it can only be temporary. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Because realistically, rent is so high these days that some people don't have another option.
Honestly, I can understand why some people are choosing this option, where rent for a small apartment can take up to your paycheck. Paying a few $100s for a room can seem like the only way to get by. It may not be the life they dream of, but for some people, it's a temporary sacrifice to save money, pay off debt, or eventually get their own place. But this is where things get complicated. You are not just renting a room, you are sharing someone else's room. That can mean sharing the kitchen, the bathroom, the living room, and sometimes even having to follow house rules you would have not if you have your own apartment. And for some people, that less of privacy can be a really big deal. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about people renting rooms in other people's home, why they are doing it, the money they are saving, and some of the problems that comes with it. Let's get into it.
You know what's so annoying about trying to find a room to rent in a shared home on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever? Is the fact that people clearly just want the money from the rental income from a tenant, but don't actually want to accept that somebody else lives in the house with them. Like allowing no kitchen access, no visitors, just unnecessary rules that don't make sense when someone is paying to live there. Like I rented this room, toured it, asked all the questions. She said I could use the kitchen, which on her previous listings, when I looked at her profile, she had no access to kitchen because she's rented out the room a few times. But for me, I was allowed access, and that says something. But I asked her if she had a laundromat, and she was like, yeah, you could use the laundromat. And then I texted her about it later. She was like, oh, I spoke to my husband, and we don't want to share the laundry. And after I moved in there, she put 2 new cameras into the living room, and it literally has a motion sensor. You can hear anytime I walk down the stairs or walk out. Like, what the fuck?
This one really makes you think. If someone is paying hundreds of dollars every month and would expect them to have reasonable access to the home they are renting in, right? So when you're hearing about people not being allowed to use the kitchen, do laundry, have visitors, or even use common areas, you have to ask, what exactly are they paying for? What are they paying for?
Okay, so I'm apartment hunting. I find this listing okay, pretty cheap, like for a room, whatever, Toronto, like nice kitchen. Let me scroll. Okay, looks nice. Is that a mattress though? Like, what is that? Oh, is that a wall? What is that? Oh, that's my room. That's what you're paying for. $750 to be in the middle of the like room. Like, what? This is what it looks like when you close your door. Like when you want to be by yourself, this is what it looks like. And they even say, where is it? Like fully furnished, very bright and sunny and comfortable. Yeah, it's really bright and sunny, bro. It's because you're taking up half of the, like, what?
Now, $750 for a room might sound expensive, but compared with a full apartment in some cities, it can actually be a huge saving. The biggest question is whether that saving is worth giving up some privacy and independency. Because if you can save $1,000 or more every month, that could help you build an emergency fund, pay off debt, or save towards your own home.
Kitchen access is not included. Laundry facilities and common areas like the living room are not included. Why the fuck would you rent a bedroom in your home? Why would you do that? For $1,200, you can stay in an 8x10 shoebox of a bedroom that doesn't come with Wi-Fi. Utilities not fucking included. But you're not allowed to wash your clothes or use the kitchen or sit in the living room. Why would anyone pay $1,200 for an 8x10 bedroom that is not furnished, no utilities included, and then they also have to find somewhere else to do their laundry and cook their food and hang out like I'm only allowed to be in the room? That doesn't make any fucking sense. If you need an extra $1,200 a month, get a fucking job, because this listing is completely ridiculous and unrealistic.
These are the pros and cons of me renting out a room for $750 a month at 19 years old. So the first thing I would say is having complete freedom, but on a budget. As a hyper-independent person, I always wanted to know what it would feel like to live without an authority in the household. I say on a budget because I do live with other people in the household, so I can't scream at the top of my lungs or, beat on the walls if I wanted to. But I do have the privilege to come and go as I please. I can take a vacation for weeks on end, not have to let nobody know, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. I can do what I want and live my life. In the state of California, a one-bedroom apartment can cost you $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So my $750 a month for a room, maybe I'm saving a lot of money. I can put that extra $1,000 to $2,000 into investments and grow my money, or put that into a high-yield savings account. So when I am ready to move into an affordable apartment, I can use that money to do so. I also don't have to worry about paying extra fees for utilities like water, electricity, Wi-Fi, or anything like that. For my situation, I was very blessed to be able to move in with a very loving and caring family. They cook dinner literally every single night, and they literally force me to eat. So their food is amazing. I love them, and they're a really nice family. For the cons, I would definitely have to say not being able to be completely alone. There are times where the house can get loud because, of course, there are other people there, and I'm the type of person, I love to be isolated. I love to be alone at times. So that is kind of a real big thing for me. Sharing living spaces is another thing. I do have to share a bathroom with like 3 other people, which honestly I'm okay with, because every time that somebody leaves a bathroom, they make sure that it's good for the next person to use it. So hey, that's good for me. The kitchen being a shared space shies me away from actually utilizing it, just because, other people are using the kitchen, other people are cooking day in and day out. So it's like, I don't really buy groceries, and that kind of leads me to spending a little bit more money on eating out. Other than that, man, renting a room is really not that bad. If you truly want to try that, hey, listen, to each his own. A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people would want to do that to save the money, but hey, it worked for me, and I hope it works for you. If you do, try it out.
And we have to be fair, not everyone has a bad experience. Some people actually find a great family or household to live with, and they get a safe place to stay without the massive cost of living alone. And if the people are respectful, the rules are clear, and everyone respects each other's space, renting a room can actually work really well.
This is my space. This is the room that I've been living in since November 15th of 2020. This is the room that I got content in. I got content meaning I was supposed to move into this room and then save and then get an apartment, but I got too content. I wasn't managing my money. I was eating out every day, but I've been moving smarter with my money, and I've been cooking. See, I got a griddle here. Got a griddle, pot, pan. This is the box you'll be seeing me cook on in my videos. So that's been helping me save money. And yeah, man, I plan on getting out of here very soon. I've been outgrown it. I've outgrew it. This is the door that I stare at. When I hear somebody walk past it, it used to bother me. It's been bothering me less because I'm like really territorial. So, just hearing somebody be around my space, it kind of bothers me. And there's a bathroom in there, which is a shared space. Like, I'm grateful that I have this space because I could be homeless. But yeah, this is just really my number one motivator. This is the place that I'm working hard to get out of. I'm saving up for an apartment, and I'm aiming to get out of here this year. So I just wanted to show y'all again, give y'all another 360. This is my space. I'm gonna be getting out of here soon.
The kitchen situation alone would be a deal breaker for a lot of people, because if you are paying rent but you don't feel comfortable cooking your own food, you could end up spending more money eating out. So you are not saving money on rent, but then losing some of that savings on food. That's something people really need to think about before moving into a shared house. And this is another important point. Something that starts as a temporary solution can easily become your normal life. You move in to save money for a few months, and then a year passes and you are still there. So if you are renting a room to save money, you really need a plan of what you're saving towards.
When I tell you, do not rent a room from a boomer. I moved out of my own apartment 2 weeks ago. I've been living on my own for the past 5 years. I decided to save money to live with someone. And this is my mom's friend's friend, family friend. I knew her relatively, she knew me, but she's insanely nosy. When I was shipping out an eBay package, she was like, "Oh, what's that?" And she was looking in the box, and I'm like, "Oh, nothing, just shoes." She physically opens the box and then opens the lid on the shoes to see what it is. I'm like, when I signed up to rent this room, I didn't sign up for you going through my shit. Anytime that I'm making food or I'm in the kitchen in a common shared areas, she waltzes in and asks me all these personal questions. Initially, I was answering her for fear that she would kick me out since I'm renting a room. We're not technically roommates, it's her house. I would give her these answers, but then I was like, I don't owe her personal details. So I started being very vague. And I started not going into the common areas whenever she's in there. Or whenever she would walk in there, I'd just go back to my room. I don't think any cheap rent is worth it, in my opinion, worth the invasion of privacy, because I'm someone who's neurodivergent and I value my privacy, I value my own time, I have a social battery. It also makes slight jabs at me. When I was eating yogurt yesterday, she was like, "Don't let me catch you eating ice cream. What is that?" And I was like, "It's yogurt." And then a few days ago in the morning, after I'd made breakfast, I was eating chips. She's like, "Why are you eating chips in the morning?" Just shit like that. Like, it bothers me, that commentary. When she's done cooking and done eating, she'll give her pots, pans, dishes, whatever to the dog to lick off before she puts it in the dishwasher. I'm not white enough for that. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I scrub down my dishes, pots, pans, whatever, put them in the dishwasher after. Doggy is not getting to lick the pan. I'm gonna thug it out until end of March, and then I'm moving back into an apartment by my own. Another thing is, I feel like she listens in to me. And how I know is because y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but she will mention things that I've said on the phone in my room to my friend, grandma, whoever. She will mention things when she asks me at the kitchen table. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Why are you saying shit that I never told you directly, but stuff that you heard me say in my room? Weird behavior. She's a control freak, so she has a recycling pile, compost pile, and a trash pile. I put paper towels in the trash, and she makes sure to move the paper towels from the trash to the compost and try to put stuff wherever I can, but honestly, like, she's just insanely a control freak. Everything has to be exactly where it's supposed to be. Like, I was unloading the dishwasher and she made sure to tell me to not put dishes in one place but to put them in another place and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But just certain things like that, even towels, like, everything has to be perfect. Do not rent a room from a boomer, period. They're also just stuck in their own way. So insanely judgy, and it's not worth it. Update on the roommate situation. I bought a camera, and I'm gonna put it in my room. Since some of you all think that she's listening to me, maybe bugged my room, goes in my room when I'm not home, and if I catch her doing that on the camera that is supposed to arrive tomorrow, I'm gonna set it up. If I catch her going in my room or going through my things or any of that shit, I will confront her and I will record it for you all and I'll let you know. So, part 2 of things my boomer roommate does. If you haven't seen the first part, go watch it. She eats my food. I'll find some of the main meals there, but I do have snacks here and there that are in my fridge. I had like little Sargento snack, right? It has cheese and some of those have been missing. Some of my other stuff have been eaten. So she's been eating some of my food in my fridge. Mind you, she has a normal size fridge and freezer. I don't have a fucking freezer, okay? So I have to buy my food almost daily, packed to the brim with expired food, mind you, because she's a hoarder. So that's a whole other story too. So her taking any of my food irks me because I'm like, I'm already having to go out and buy food. She provided me with a tiny ass fridge. I'm talking like one of those mini fridges. So I'm having to put all my food in there. And I'm someone that enjoys food. I love to eat. I do love to cook normally, but not when she's there, and there's not much room to put a lot of food. So I have to be mindful of what I buy, or I eat out. Like, there's not that many options. She also asked me a bunch of personal questions, like where I went, what I did, who I went out with, when I leave, when I come back, what I do at my job. She monitors when I go to work, when I come home. Like, I don't want anyone watching when I leave and when I come home. Just give me the freedom and the space to do as I need. Another thing is, I'm neurodivergent and I have a social battery. I don't want to talk to you every single time I see you, which is a lot because she's at home a lot, especially now that it's snowy outside. Sorry, I got a call. We don't need to have a fucking conversation, and a long one at that. I don't care that she's lonely. I'm not here to be your companion, respectfully. I'm here just to have a place to sleep. She also asks personal questions, like I mentioned, but about my relationship with my mom too. So she knows about my backstory. She knows that my dad's a narcissist. My parents don't have a great relationship. And my relationship with my mom is pretty strained because of that. But she will ask me and get involved. Did you call your mom today? Why is that any of your business? Someone left a comment saying she's like a monitoring spirit, and I cannot stress that enough. She really is, which is why I'm planning on leaving mid-March if I can make it till then. She has a dog, and some of this dog's responsibilities fall on me. So when she's out of the house and I'm at home, I take dog out, I feed dog, I give dog treat. It's not that much and I don't mind doing it, but respectfully, it's also not my dog. So she'll also make subtle hints at things that she wants me to do. It's like, oh, the trash is looking very full, which in my mind is like, okay, I'll take out the trash, let me take out the trash, which is fine, I don't mind. But then she said, if you ever feel like you want to shovel, the shovel is right there. So in my mind, it's like, okay, you're telling me to shovel the driveway too. She's like, oh, I have a list of things that need to be got from the grocery store, subtly hinting that I should get those for her. No, man, it's just not gonna happen. Sorry. I think I'm gonna die in this house now. I think I'm gonna die in this house. Mid-March can't come soon enough, honestly.
Now, And this is probably one of the biggest problems with renting a room in someone's home. You may be a tenant, but you are also living inside their personal space, and sometimes that can create a strange power dynamic where the homeowner feels like they can question everything you do. Where did you go? When did you come home? Who you talk to, or even what you eat. Because at the end of the day, having a roof over your head is important, but so is feeling comfortable in your own space. Some people would rather live in a small apartment and have a complete privacy. Others would rather save the money and accept sharing a home for a while. Neither choice is wrong. It really depends on what you can afford and what you are willing to sacrifice. So after hearing all of these experiences, I think renting a room can be a very good financial move, but only if you know exactly what you are getting into. The rent may be cheaper, but you could be paying for that savings with your privacy, your freedom, your peace of mind. So I want to know, what do you think? Would you rent a room in someone else's house to save money, or would you rather pay more to have your own place? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel. I am Joy. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in my next one.